Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome in. Hello, hello. How we doing? Hello, hello. Hello, my friends. I'm adjusting my mic, but I don't think it's doing anything. But that's okay. Okay. Welcome in, welcome in. David, welcome in. You made it to the good app. Oh my goodness, you guys. That's crazy. Hey, let's go, Angie, with the first. Well, hey, finally back to the dark side. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. You're not a tiny postage stamp on my phone. Oh my goodness, I gotta tell you guys what I decided. So you know how on the TikTok I'm doing a little cute Santa Claus? Well, for you guys, because you guys are special and I love you guys um for every sub you get on here and you can be on here more than once. Obviously, I'm going to go through maybe January with this, but I want to see it all filled up. And look, we already got names. We got Von Reich, David, and Mike Rab on here. And it's our little Twitch 2025 one. It's so cute. But yeah. But this is just a little thank you for you guys because you guys are amazing. So if you sub, then you get on here. So, woot. Woot. Yay! Woo! Let's go. So, like I said, because you guys are special. Okie dokie. So, today, I know it's Monday, and I normally play Minecraft, but some days you just are not in the mood, and you don't feel like playing a certain game. Well, for whatever reason, I don't want to play Minecraft tonight, and I really wanted to play Palia on Wednesday, so we're going to play Palia today. But before we play Palia, we are going to do our day 8 of devotionals, and then we're going to play the game. So that's what we're doing. For those who were on the TikTok, you've already have done this with me, but you get to hear it again. So let's go ahead and get started. So day 8 is called Savior. That is the title, Savior. And Matthew 1:21 is our message. Matthew 1:21. Does the Bible app not work anymore on chat? Anyway, it says, "And she will have a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." I don't think it works. I used to have the app that would do it for me. Here, I'll post it for you guys. There you go. Well, that's sad. I was always so excited when the app would just post the Bible verses. But yeah, that's the Bible verse for the day. You don't see the bot in the list? The bot should be in the list. What? Oh no. Why is the bot not in the list? Okay, we'll figure that out at another time, I guess. Okay, so Jesus came not to just be born, but to save. His mission was redemption, and Christmas is the beginning of that rescue plan. So we have 3 questions and answers. The first question is, what does it mean that Jesus saves me? Well, my sins are forgiven and I have eternal life. Question number 2 is, how does his salvation change my daily life? Well, I get to live with freedom and hope. And honestly, it changes every aspect of my life, especially once you give your life to Jesus. And then number 3, who needs to hear about his salvation? So I put someone searching for meaning, but also what we pointed out during Tiki Talk time, which was, anyone who needs it, like literally anyone. Anyone who doesn't know him. But every day we should be hearing about his salvation, right? So technically everyone. And here's a little prayer for the day. Lord Jesus, we thank you for saving us from our sins and just help us to share your salvation with others during this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Anyone who doesn't want a crappy life. Amen. So tomorrow we'll be doing Emmanuel. And like I said, guys, if I'm ever not live due to whatever reasons, health issues, or like I'm on Tiki Talk one of the days, or like it's Saturday, guys, I'm posting these devotionals in Discord. So if you're not a part of Discord, make sure you join. We'd love to have you there. We do lots of fun things in Discord. Lots of fun things, including movie nights and game nights and all that fun jazz. So you should join. And then you'll also get to see this because I post them in the chat as well. So, okie dokie. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Is that good background music? It's so much more than just salvation. It's a daily journey that truly improves improves your life. Although it's uncomfortable sometimes, but it's a good uncomfortable. Amen, David. That is right. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yay! Press any key and accept. I accept again. I continue to accept. I will forever accept. Okay. I'm excited, guys. I'm trying to finish games. This is my problem. I never finish games. I want to actually finish games. And if I can't for some reason finish it, then I want to get all the achievements on Steam or get perfect. So any of those three. But as long as I finish it, I'm good. I don't strive for perfection, okay? Cuz I mess up a lot. So we're not striving for perfection, but if I can at least finish the game or get all the achievements, if it's a game that can't be like beat technically, like for example Among Us, it would be considered like so the storyline is what we're aiming to finish. Technically you can play this for forever, but there's actually a storyline on here, and so the point is to finish the whole storyline and get that all done. You can forever do different things on here, but I want to finish the game. Like there's always going to be stuff to do, but my focus is finishing the storyline of the game. Like the main tasks and stuff. So but yeah, like I said, if you can't finish a game, then I want to get all the achievements on Steam. So that's a fun stuff. Yeah, see, it makes sense. Guys, I never finish games. I want to finish games. Like, I'm literally 2 hours away from Ever Crisis. I probably need to finish that too on stream. So we can just get that knocked out and say I finished it. But yeah. We need to finish the games. The only game I've actually finished was The Old Republic with Doc. And the only reason why I finished it is because I'm not subscribed, so I can't do any of that part, if that makes sense. Or there would be more to finish, but because I'm not subscribed, we're done with that part of the game, if that makes sense. So it's considered for me finished. I haven't been here in a while. Oh yeah, we added this. And then we added this little outside area that goes into our kitchen, which is really nice. I think our next goal was to either add behind us. Yeah, see? That's what we're working on, is adding behind us. But this is my little home with my little ranch bed. Yeah, so that's what we're working on, I guess. I don't even know what I need for this. What do I need to finish this? I need sapwood planks. 20 sapwood planks. I don't think I ever finished building a house the one time I played this with you. Really? That's funny. Yeah, so 20 sapwood planks, and then um this needs a lot still. This is the windmill. We need 7 fabric. I remember that. Uh I would like that finished one day too. You know, that would be nice. They're ready! My cotton is ready. Gotta pick all the cotton. My gardening is level 6 now. Oh my goodness. Wow. If I press G, it tells me what things are. I gotta be honest with you guys. Every time I haven't played a game in a while, I don't remember how to pull out stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I remember now. So let's fill this up here. Hold on, and let me fill this up. I was trying to finish Pokemon Shield. I'm at a point where the ones I need are never available in the wild, or I have to get them from Sword. The only Pokemon game I've ever finished was Pokemon Fire Red. But I never did it on stream, so I can't technically put that in my thing that I finished it on stream. Um, I enjoyed Diamond. I enjoyed Silver, Soul Silver. Um, I think Emerald, I think I had, and then that was it.
The dragon is
Hello, Pokey.
everywhere
I
you
hope
look.
your autumnal harvest season has been happy and productive. I'm sure you've noticed the days are getting shorter and the nights colder. I have not noticed at all. Yep, it's almost time for winter lights. Almost time for a change in seasons. Sure.
Oh,
I finished Pokemon Blue, like, caught all 150, I think. I got all 251 in in Silver 2. Okay, so when I was younger, my brother had, um, he either had yellow, my two brothers had either yellow or blue, and then I had red, from what I remember. Kilma has an annual tradition that those of us who've been graced with Maji's bounty during the harvest season share with those who haven't. It helps ensure everyone is prepared for winter no matter how harsh. And with so many humans arriving, I'm afraid there are a lot of folks out there who simply haven't had the time or resources to prepare. How can I help? I put together a list of items I'm collecting: food supplies, furniture on the town bulletin board. Feel free to stop by and contribute if you have the means. Of course, your contributions are completely voluntary. I would never pressure you to give more than you can afford, but if you do happen to find yourself with a little extra to spare, Tish has kindly donated some new wallpaper and flooring styles as gifts for those who decide to
this
contribute.
chat has been lovely.
Wow. I was about to say, why are you still here? Guys, I gotta show you real quick. Okay, so you know, I added a pet cam for when Smuckers is in my room. Well, he wanted to leave my room earlier today. He didn't want to be with me. So, he's back in my brother's room, but while I was live on TikTok, my mom gave me my laundry, and look at it. Okay, hold on. I gotta set it up. Okay. Are you guys ready? This is what I have to do when I get off. Why is it upside down? Hello? Do you guys see that? Look at that huge pile of laundry I have to do after this. So I can go to bed. Yep. So now the Smucker's cam is called the laundry cam. Fun stuff, huh? Okay. Well, one of these days. I didn't mean to eat that! What did I just eat? So the name of Stop Giving Me Your Biggest Battles came true. You literally just have to fold your laundry. That is a big battle, okay? When someone has back issues, folding your laundry is a big battle, okay, Wolverine? You don't understand how much I don't like folding my laundry because of back pain. Or doing dishes because of back pain. Unless I'm having like a good back day. I do that, but I always just end up throwing the clean clothes in the hamper and the dirty ones on the floor. So I completely understand. I am usually good at doing laundry when I'm having a good back day. But that's my thing is today, um, I went in my new electric scooter and I had to go to Dollar Tree because I had to get a $15 gift card for a Christmas party. Guys, I would rather it be like one of those white elephants where like there's really no like it could have a limit from like, you know, $10 to $15, but I don't like gift card ones just because if it's one that is items, then I could easily get something cheaper on sale that's normally the normal price and I can get that for the item because I'm really smart with my money. But when it's a gift card, you have to get like the amount they tell you to bring. It drives me crazy. I'm not made out of money. And this year, I'm pretty much doing all, like, for gifts, I'm doing all, I wish you can take out water here. You know what I mean, though? So. Okay, I think everything's done. Do I have to water these guys still? They're done? Yay! Is there any of these I have to water still? Whee! This one? Ooh, yes, guys. Pokey catch. Exclamation point, pokey catch. Gotta water all the hydrangeas. Gotta do my morning farming things. Whee! Whee! Probo. What's a Probo pass? Probo pass. Has been caught by David and Wolverine. Wow. I love my little plushies. They're so cute. I don't think the only things I might have to do is these. No, I can get seeds from these. What can I grill? Sure. I'll grill some fish. And I'll grill some meat. It's a big rock with a sweet mustache. Oh my goodness, it has a mustache. Wow, that was fast. Oh my goodness, guys. Look at this jellyfish. Are you ready? Whee! I just like it because you can jump on it. Wait, does that mean I can plant these 5? It's gonna be so pretty there. Oh my goodness. Is there anything else that I can use? 6? Okay. I gotta remember to water these. Okay, now I have lots of those, which can be put in here. Um, we're just gonna put everything in here. Because I actually don't remember what I need for certain things. A bellflower dining table? When did I get that? Ooh, ramen. Okay, for now, I need those for food. Um, the table. Oh, wait. Be smart, Victoria. Look at your quests. Okay, so the main story. This is what I'm talking about. Main story stuff. You have main story stuff that you want to finish all the main story stuff. So, for instance, here I gotta solve the riddle. Solve the riddle to get deeper inside the chamber. Maybe Gina has some ideas. I need a battery or something. Now that you've proven yourself in the majority of virtues, it's time to pick a shep. Earn the trust of any adult villager and ask them to be your shep. This will require reaching level 4 friendship with an eligible adult villager and completing their level 4 quest. And then troubled waters, the censors Subria placed inside the Temple of the Waves were set off last night by persons unknown. She's requested you to join her to investigate. So, and then you've learned that Eloisa and Kalari have set up donation bins to send artifacts to the Umbrian Natural History Museum. Donate all pieces of an artifact to receive a reward. And then you have harvest season is coming to an end, and it's time to prepare for winter. Help Cheyenne with his annual tradition of gathering food and supplies for those less fortunate. So yeah. And then these are like normal quests that you do. So, getting 5 pallium ore, locating the recipe scraps for the Palian onion soup, find the other half of the soup recipe you found at Fisherman's Lagoon in Kilima. So we need to go there. And then talk to Hadari about the mine. So we need to go to Kilima, basically, I guess. Um, I'm really bad at being friends with people. As you can see, my closest friendship is Nea. Uh, Deli, or Della, I like to call her. Ani, I'm pretty close with to level 3. But I have no one at level 3 yet, and I need someone to be at level 4. Tish, I'm pretty close. Reth, I'm getting closer. I don't like her, so I don't really talk to her. um, But yeah, so we gotta get to level 4 with one of these and ask them to be my ship and all that fun stuff, and then these are accomplishments that you can get. And you can finish accomplishments. So. Ooh. Claim all the things. Claim all the gifts. I don't care who they're from. I'm claiming them all. Claim all the gifts. I'm not reading all that. It's still giving me things. I can be Rapunzel. Why is it so expensive to wear cute outfits? $34,000 is $32. So if I want this, I have to pay $32 to be a princess. I like this one. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Ooh, the red. Oh. Wait, I like that one. What else is there? You can buy a housing plot. I can buy my own cow. I want an Ormu. Guys. This Ormuz is a moveless addition to your adventures with soft fur, and he has brown on him and he's purple. He's multicolored cow. Ugh. Is there anything cheaper? See, some of these outfits I just don't like. I want to be Rapunzel and own a Ormu. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Ooh, I could be a ninja. Why is the ninja more expensiver than the other thing? I can have an Oram. Oh no, that's a Sernuk. I thought it was an Oramu hat. Lord, can I have money to buy things on it? Is that too much to ask? Because cool things cost money, and that's how they get you with the free games. Well, look how cute this stuff is! I can be a cow. Okay, I'm gonna get more sad if I just keep looking. So, my overflowing inventory is overflooding. Well, let me help you. Rancher's haystacks. Patio umbrellas. Umbrellas. Pumpkin. Floating candles. Almond cookies. Spicy sweet roll. Pow cat pillow. A mat. A spicy hot pot takeout. A lucky coin. A sweet leaf. Spicy sprouts. Pumpkin pie. Beetroot. Pumpkins, pumpkins, pumpkins. I don't know what these thingies are. What are these thingies? Ceiling cobwebs. More cobwebs. A cauldron. A celebration cake. Okay. Wait, I want to open. Oh, do I have to exit out of here first and go to 5 and then do it? You can't refill your 5. 6. 7. Okay, now I can open this again and see what all I got. Oh my goodness, I got all these guys! They're so cute! We gotta plant them. Hi, Outcast Gaming. Welcome in. Oh my goodness, I got cute little guys again. I need sapwood. Guys, remind me to get sapwood. Be like, Popaz, get sapwood. Hydrate! Water. I barely have any water left, though. I just ran out of water. Look, you would be so proud of me, you guys. Are you ready? This is the only water I like. It's eternal water. Is that a candy cane design on the straw? I mean, it could be considered a candy cane design on the straw. We'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Hey, Alex, up? Ooh, guys, a ladybug just appeared. Okay, so I think I have 8. Unless it's a different one. But 6? Hold on. I gotta... Is it H? Nope, not H. Is it control? Okay, so this... Why can't I put it on there anymore? Do you guys see this? Wait, why are you saying sorry to Outcast? What happened? Want some cheese with pancakes? Cheese with pancakes. Hold up, wait a minute. Apparently I can do it if they're lower. See, I think I have 8. Yeah, I have 8. So I'm gonna put 8 right here. So I don't try to use it. Um, which one is 7? Hold on. 7 is like a whatever one. This one, is that purple? That one might be purple too. Wait, I don't have a purple one. Wait, I do have a purple one. Hold up. Okay, so this one can be there. Um, Pink, I already have. 3 is like a lime green color. That one looks like a different color. Those two look the same, so I already have this one. And then one is that one. You guys can all go there for now. Because I need to get more of those things. Now these I can keep. How do I put it in back in my G? Okay, there we go. These can go back in here now. And then later on, we can go to a place to, I guess, trade with people or something. So that works out. Anyway, how are you all doing? Hey, Outcast, thank you so much for lurking. I appreciate that. Okay, Bellflower dining table. Do I need that for something? Let's go check. We're gonna go out to town, you guys. We haven't been out to town in a while. It's 9:08. I don't know what there is planned in this game or if I need to do something other than hiccups. Other than having the hiccups, you know? Because that happens all the time. Just kidding, the hiccups. Hiccups. Nah! Your food tastes are immaculate. I can't with the cheese. This Alex dude also likes French toast and sour cream. Alex is out of control. You gotta do something with him. Me and Trevor can't. Well, I don't think I can either, Outcast. I guess he's just gonna keep eating cheese with pancakes and syrup and French toast with sour cream. Yep. Yes, that is correct. I'm kind of interested in what other weird food combinations you have, though. Guys, it would be nice to own a glider, you know, one of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna own a glider so I can fly. Glide. Are you what? Who? Him? Festival of Bounty intro. Fabric, muskin, iron bars, ancient wood planks. Homestead medium bed, sideboard cookware, pantry. Canned beans, cabbage, kimchi. I had kimchi recently. Veggie chili and hearty vegetable soup. I swear my keyboard is haunted. Oh my goodness! Andrew subscribed with Prime. Thank you. I get to add you to our little Christmas thingy. Let's go, Andrew. Thank you for subbing, Andrew. I appreciate that. Let's go. Sour cream pie? Sweet and sour, but I wouldn't think of that in a million years. You're welcome, best streamer ever. Aww, Andrew, that's so nice. Thank you. Woot, woot, woot. Hearty vegetable soup. Tomato, spicy pepper, wheat, and corn. Whoa. Wait, does that mean the other thingy is done with already? And I don't have to do it and I just have a bellflower thing now for no reason? What is this? I'm getting all these, all of them. All of them! I will own them all! 5. Rice seeds. Honey bunch bookshelf. I got a bookshelf! Beetroot. Valley sunrise hanging lamp. A smoke bombs. Unopened oyster. Spice sprouts. Red cracking firework. Honeycomb bed. Oyster meat. Oyster meat. Oyster meat. Oyster meat. And more oyster meat. You're too full. I don't want to eat the oyster meat. What are you talking about? Wow. Spicy pepper seeds, you don't got the funds. Oh well, let me try to sell something for some funds. Sell stack. Now do I have the funds for a pepper? Thank you very much. You know what I fell at doing? Large backpack for 5,000. You know what I also fell at doing? Large ammo pouch for 2,500. You know what I also fell at doing? Everything. But that's okay. Am I ever gonna finish this game? The world may never know. I don't want to go there. I want to go here and see if there's any soup that I can just buy with money I don't have now. Lettuce soup, steak soup, potato soup, bouillabaisse, pan-fried dumplings, spicy crab, fried rice, kimchi and fried rice, stuffed cabbage rolls, rice cake stir-fry, century egg. Well. Today seems like a good day to put stuff up and then go to um Kilimanjaro. That's what it sounds like. Kilimanjaro. But it's Kilima. Or is it Kalima? You never know with these. It's just like, is it Pal World? Or like, not Pal World, but is it Palia because you have pals? Or is it Palia? I think it's Palia because pals. Get it? Because you can have pals. But then again, like, you never know. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these in. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put these in and these in, and then I'm gonna put this in, and then I'm gonna get out some things, some items I put in here earlier, because what I want to do is see what they look like on our property and see um if I can. I don't want to place any cauldrons. I don't want to place any pumpkins, but I will put those out. I could probably sell all this. You know what? I'm gonna sell all this. If it can be sold, I will sell it. Because I don't need it. Repair kit. Is that it? That should be it, right? Every other thing is... Oh, I need one of those. Okay. I think everything else, um, cannot be sold. So let me go through and see what cannot be sold. Darn it. Those can't be sold. 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 But jack-o'-lantern lures can be sold. Place on the ground lures, pumpkin, rock hoppers. Apparently I need to catch a rock hopper, whatever that is. So, we'll do that too. Okay, that's it. Let's look at everything. Let's see what we have here. So, we have number 2. Okay, I have a cat pillow there. And then I'm going to put a cat pillow there. Just because. You know, sometimes you just have things around your house. Just because. Whoa, this goes outside. 3. Oh my goodness, this is so big! This could be for my living room or dining room one day. Okay, that will definitely go outside. What about number 5? Oh my goodness. That's so cute. But I really like my cow bed. Maybe I can have a guest room one day, and then that could be in the guest room. 6. What's this one? You know, I kind of want some like different, like that works. It gives it a little more of a like a out thingy, right? And then what's this one? I can put it right above the bed. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I love it. Okay, now, hay we can put next to the Oramus. Whoa, that's a big hay. Um, hay can go there. And then hay can go over this way because it's a farm, And usually Ormus like hay, right? Should I put both of them together or just one there? Because you can kind of see that one behind that. And I kind of like that. Okay, we'll keep that. The rest can go... Oh, wait. Number 2? Look at how cute this is! Wait! Yes. And then I want the other one. No! I want the other one. Right there. Oh my goodness, and then you can sit there. And you're shaded. I love it. The eternal debate. Hi, Shuli. Hold on. What did I miss? Wait, what debate are we thinking of? Hug, Shuli. Thank you for the lurk. I got one pumpkin there from last year. So let's do 3 more pumpkins. I can have another one there. And then I could have one right there. And then I can have another one right there. And then I could have this one. Wow. Right there. And then I can have this one. Right there. And then I could have this one. Right there. And then... Hmm. I can have one there. That's cute. And then the other one can go... like that. Sure. And then... look how cute! Okay, it's too big to go there. Oh my goodness, I could put it right there. This is so cute. Oh my goodness. I love it. Guys, this is so exciting. Okay, now, while we're over here, we need to plant number 1. But I need, I need my hoe. I need that for my spicy pepper. Needs 4 tiles. Well, fine then. Whee! There. Now. 1. There we go. And then water. Of course it's empty. Of course it would be empty. Of course it would tell me it's empty. Whee! Okay. There we go. Now. I need to put this in here and that in there. And then, guys, I kind of want to put the pumpkin pie out on the table in the cake. And that. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Hold up. Wait a minute. I think I need to do control for this. We're gonna put that there. And then we're gonna put 2. 3. I can't put them anywhere. I thought I could put them somewhere. You know? I don't want to eat them. I want to place them. See how I placed the soup? Why can't I put my baked goods out? No! I can put cookies out, but not my other things? Hold up, wait a minute. So if I just put these in here, would it work? And then I do it? You know what I mean? Now if I do it, will it work? Okay, they have that. That works. Those are the only two things I can put out? Why can't it be considered decor? Why can only certain foods? Darn it. Well, I guess I have cookies and cinnamon stuff. Since everything else doesn't want to, you know. Okay, so now what I need to do is, I guess, do this. I thought I had more. Do I not have more? Or did I put it in here too? No? Okay, let's go. Dehydrate, guys. I don't have water. Like I don't got water at all. What flavor of church do you attend? What do you mean what flavor of church do I attend? What denomination? I attend a Southern Baptist church, but um it's not about denominations, it's about um your relationship with Jesus. I've been to non-denominational churches. I've been to Pentecostal churches. I think you can definitely take stuff out of different denominations and apply it. Um like for instance, Baptists are very theological. Um and then how can I judge you if I don't know your denomination? I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. um and then like Pentecostal are very like, you know, Holy Spirit led. Um Catholics do like a lot of um it's not called mass. What is it called? Where they do like the Eucharist type thing. Um Hi Ani. Maybe you have more. 500. 500. Corn seeds. I don't know. Does that make sense to you though? Like what I'm explaining? I want to explore churches in my area. I'm just gathering intel. Like I said, I've been to Pentecostal churches. I've been to non-denominational. I've been to Southern Baptist. Um, hmm. You do online church? Yeah, Andrew watches my church online. They're frogs! Is there any special frogs out there? I like it how you can play with other people. It's fun. Amen. Yes, fellowship. Definitely. Ah, get all the frogs. I want a shiny one. I only have one shiny. Yes, I got two. Yes. No, come back. Hey, got you. Got him. Got him. I bet Ani would like it. One of these guys as a gift. No. Okay, I think that's it. But Drew, I need to talk to you.
What brings you around here?
Did you know you can make your tools stronger by reinforcing them with iron? Did you guys know that? How's that for a bit of irony? Guys, I'm gonna be best friends with this guy. Some days I feel like I'm Nag because I just crack myself up. Anyways, I've got a new recipe with your name on it. Don't get scrambled out there, okay? You didn't let me finish it. You can sell them? Well, that was fun using it, though. A fine watering can? I bet I can sell 3 days to harvest, 6 days to harvest, 6 days to harvest. A blueberry planter. Wow. Okay, hold on. AJ, will this count? I have coconut water. Can I drink coconut water to hydrate? Because I literally don't have water anywhere. And I don't like unfiltered water or other water because I'm really, really, really picky. Yes? Okay, thank you. I will drink me some coconut water to stay hydrated.
Ah. Oh, I see you're hailing it a day for now.
Okay. Okay, so that's done. Where is Anya? He's way over there. Ugh. Amen. Let's go. That's right. Just gotta overcome it. You can overcome anything with Jesus. Where is this kid at? I want to give you a gift.
Howdy. Uh-huh.
I'm not here to talk to you about the adventures. I'm here to give you a gift. Awesome! I've been running all over trying to find one of these. I guess I'll have to get my exercise elsewhere from now on. I've been trying to get a stink bug, but they keep crawling away. Oh, bye. Okay, now we can talk to Tish. Wee! Oh, Tish. Are you in your store? You are.
Have you met my brother yet?
Want to know a secret? You can actually change the color palettes of all that furniture you've been making. You just need to buy the recipe for the modification bench. I just got it in stock. Oh, just promise me. Shh. A lantern? A different dining table. There's the ranch house stuff, and it's so cute. Oh, the modification bins. That's what she's talking about. Oh, guys, I want all the things. All the things! But I got nothing. Nothing. I'm broke. I can't even get a basket of fruit. I'm so broke. Oh my goodness, look at the couch. I know I don't have enough gold. Thank you for reminding me. I wonder if I can sell something, or do I need to put it in my home? I guess I gotta put it in my home to sell it, and then tomorrow I'll have stuff. Yay! Love you. God bless. Thank you. You're working on it. Let's go, Andrew. You got this. Hello. Just because I know Ani likes them, I'm gonna keep them. Just because I know he likes them, I shall keep them. Yes, sirree. I need sapwood. Or planks. Requires sapwood. There you go. There you go. Oh. I want some of these. And then now I can use this and put it here. And then I'm gonna put it there. And then I'm gonna put it there. Beautiful. Because I want it to go here. And then go boop. And go boop. And go boop. And then that will be great. Okay. So that's set up. Water this. Water, 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 water. Oh my goodness, this moved and I thought there was a person in there. No. Water. 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 Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, I need... I need... I don't know what that is. I think I'll do these ones. Okay, so 3. I'll do there, and then 4. 4. 4. 4. Okay, 5. 6. 7. 8. 1. And then 2. There. Okay, now I can water them all. There. Now this whole side's gonna be done and it's gonna be so pretty like this. Hoot hoot! Hoot hoot! You cut hoot hoot! Let's see. I'm impatient. As you can see... 11 out of 20! That means I need to get more sapwood. Um... 11, 12, 13. That means I need more in order to get it. You were created 5 years ago. Well, let's go. It's very rare that anyone has me beat. That's crazy. 18 years. My account can officially drive and it's almost an adult. I know my account can vote. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. It's crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so lonesome. Okay, which one's the sapwood? I don't remember which one the sapwood. You know, if you don't know, you just take an axe and you go choppity chop chop and then see. I know, 18 years. Isn't that crazy? My Twitch account is old. Okay, I am correct. That is sapwood. Let's go. Any trees in Kilima in the home plot are sapwood. Well, thank you, Herman. I appreciate that. And thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Wee. You have been following me for 11 months? Let's go, Andrew. This one looks like a nice tree to chop down. Okay, now... I got a fossil! That's exciting. Can I put it in my house? Can I display my fossil somewhere? No! Then what can I do with it? Darn it. I was so excited. Well. I can sell it. You know what? Why not? Let's sell it, since you can't do nothing with it. I'm gonna sell it. They're worth quite a bit of money, though, and they're used in quests for, like, the Bug Boy Ani. Oh. Got it. I'm focused, you guys. I'm focused. I'm focused. I landed in a tree. Okay, let's go. Our goals are to go to Kilima. We're gonna talk to somebody in Kilima, and then we're gonna go look for the paper. That is our tasks for the day, and then I'll probably end up getting off because it's already almost 12 and I need sleep. Hopefully it don't take forever. Because, I bet we can do these tasks fast and easy. Fast and easy. Whee! Okay. We got this. Follow the yellow brick road. Jump over fences. To follow the yellow brick road. Whee! Open the wardrobe to change your glider skin. Wow. I don't even think I have a glider yet. I need to talk to Hodori first. Sorry if I missed anything back from ads. Well, welcome back. We're just gonna go talk to Hodori. Hold on. Hello, Nanjuma.
All the way
It's
here.
kinda nice seeing more people around. You might want to stand back. I'm working on my latest invention and I'm not entirely sure this thing is stable. What does your invention do? Good question. I'll let you guess. What do you think it does? It lets you breathe underwater. It makes you fly. It communicates with ghosts. And why don't you just? It makes you fly. That could be an interesting challenge. Not just a glider, but something with mechanical wings. But no, it's a new type of firework. I won't tell you what it does, but you'll have to wait and see. The explosive I'm working on right now could use some clay. I would go get it myself, but you
We can
know.
talk later.
You know. You know. She thinks I know. She's like, you know. My dad won't let me go nowhere, so you have to get it for me, you know? I just like jumping. Does anyone just like to jump? I need to attempt to apply my sleepy brain to a work email. I'll be back in a few. Ah, those work emails.
Huh?
Najuma says the mine's haunted. Not you two. I told her to quit telling stories. I don't know what's going on with her lately. You could try listening to her. Kids are like that sometimes. She's always had an active imagination, but this is the first time she's really dug her feet in. I know what's wrong with the mines, and it ain't no made up spirit. The veins are running dry, so I'm having to go deeper and deeper, but I don't have the lights to support it. The mines ain't haunted, they're just dark. It's easy to catch yourself seeing shadows so deep in the earth like that. You really want to see her mind at ease, you can help me gather some lantern bugs. Ooh, I like being down in the mines. The only thing I have to focus on here is the swing of my pick. Everything else is an unwanted distraction. If you can get some extra magic wood planks, would you mind sending them my way? I could use some of them bad boys for some supports I'm working on in the meantime.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Saying my brain is sleepy? I feel that. Okay, what's the last quest we're doing today? I need 5 lantern bugs. Locate, Fisherman's Lagoon in Kilima. Fisherman's Lagoon. Fisherman's Lagoon. Fisherman's Lagoon. Okay, let's go. We got this. My brain's sleepy. Why is everyone's brain sleepy? Wake me up. I won't. It's not a lantern bug. I don't need it. Let's just get back. Whee. Hello. Wait.
What do you want?
I want to talk to you. Don't be so mean. There's so much more for me to learn about your kind. My quiver is nearly worn through. Do you think you could find a stripped Chopatel to mend it? I find myself lost in thought this evening. Do you ever find yourself in a place you fear you don't belong? Yes. I apologize if I exasperated these feelings. I know what it can be like to feel like you're on the
I
outside.
suppose we'll cross paths soon.
Ow! Arf! Tao looks like he's in the mood to sink his teeth into something. Some Shernock meat might do the trick. Woof, 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 woof. I'm happy to see you too. Arf, arf, arf. Why is he so cute? Was I the only one who saw that? Look, this could be like my Sernuk outfit. Or Palia. And I wear it when I play Palia. Get it? Okay. Um, 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 um. We gotta go to Fisherman's Lagoon to find onion soup recipe. And then that's our goals for the day. Complete. Guys, I just rolled in the water. That was awesome. You ever just roll in the water sometimes? Can't say I have. But apparently I just did it there. Ooh, wild ginger. Can I hit this rock or is it too big? I can hit it. Nice. 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 Okay, guys. We're looking for a recipe. Don't mind me. I'm just looking for something. Whew! That was a close one. How big is this Fisherman's Lagoon that I'm looking for a recipe at, huh? Like, if I go over here, is it still Fisherman's Lagoon? Nine Tails, you sneaky little guy. You sneaky little guy over there. Fisherman's Lagoon. Where's the recipe at? Ooh. See, when I think of Fisherman's Lagoon, I think of it right here. Where it says Fisherman's Lagoon. Like, it's by the water somewhere. Or it's like, you know, it's not too far. So it's not randomly out here, I wouldn't think. But, like, I think of, like, just going around the edge looking for... I'm sleepy because I got up early to go to church yesterday. I work the graveyard shift, so I usually sleep from 9 to 4 p.m. It's not easy to go to church at 9 or 11 a.m. in the morning. I feel that. Yes, especially if you didn't sleep the night before. I remember not sleeping at all and then going to church and then taking a nap or like not taking a nap, staying up for a long period of time.
Humans call me.
You look as though you have something you'd like to ask me. Is it night? I hadn't noticed. Our nights are really very dark thanks to our two moons. I have been looking for a particularly ribbon-tailed ray to act as a companion. Let me know if you spot one.
Good. Why? Is that not how humans close conversations?
Where's this letter at? I feel like I've been all over. I'm gonna search every single area that I think might be where it's at because I don't know where it's at. That's another reason I'm thinking about church shopping. Did you see what I said about the worship music a bit ago? Blah, 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 blah. I'm really starting not to like the popular worship music. I used to love the rock and roll style, but that's what with female streamers drinking and singing. And I don't know if I'm not comfortable with some of the big worship groups because of their churches are weird. I mean, you might do good with a Southern Baptist church thing. A lot of times, if you look for the right one, they'll do mostly um hymnals, or they will they'll do like Sunday, like for instance, my church on Sunday mornings we do both hymnals and like normal worship, but then on Wednesdays and Sunday nights it's pretty much all hymns. Um, so we do that for Sunday mornings just because there are a lot of younger people and youth and stuff, but it's biblically sound doctrine basically, even if it is newer songs. Where is it gonna be? What is that? I love a lot of hymns. I don't mind upbeat music. I just want to know the lyrics are doctrinally sound, and I don't want to sing the same line over and over like I'm in a yeah, I understand. I understand you. I feel like I'm like outside of the lagoon. Yeah, see, I'm not even where I'm supposed to be at now. Where is this? Find the other half of the Palian onion soup recipe you found at Fisherman's Lagoon in Kilma. Find the other half of the Palian onion soup recipe you found at Fisherman's. So I'm not looking in I'm not looking here. I'm looking somewhere else. What's the difference between Baptist and Southern Baptist? I would say the biggest difference is missions. Southern Baptist is very like missions based, if that makes sense. I think that's the only difference. So I don't know where I'm looking at for this soup unless I Google it. Is that where I'm getting at? I gotta figure out where this other piece of the onion soup is. A sense of belonging. I yearn for it. How do I integrate and become part of a culture without losing the authentic parts of myself and where I came from? Wow. So, in reality, I have no idea where I'm looking for this recipe at, is what we're getting at. And I need to look it up on Google because I'm not going to sit here till 5 a.m. in the morning looking for something. Just saying. Okay, so we're looking up. It is called the half boiled. Half half boiled Palia. What? As a simple find it quest at Fisherman's Lagoon to unlock the Palian soup recipe. You start by finding the note on the docks near Enar, the fishing gear supplier, which triggers the quest. Then simply look a few meters away on the same docks for a second closely located note to complete the quest and get the recipe. Very close to the first one. Where? It says it was close to the next one on the same dock. Where? What in the world? Where? Is it like underneath or something weird like that? It says it's on the dock next to where Enar usually is. Well, I don't remember where Enar was. We're just gonna look very carefully everywhere. Ion and salt and butter with equal parts garlic and spice sprouts. Once the mixture is fragrant, soak in water to create a rich broth. That's why I couldn't find it. All these stupid decorations are in front of where it's at. Pallium ore and paper lantern bugs. I probably have to do that at night, right? So it would work to do it right now. It's because I don't have anything. I bet I don't have any. I gotta wait till tomorrow. Which means next time I play. Next time I play. Yeah, see, I probably would have never found that quest if I didn't look it up because it was in where it's not supposed to be. Yay! You know what they say about crops? You can never water them too much. Actually, that isn't true. You can't be too careful about that. Anyway, I've got a brand new watering can recipe for sale that will get them just in the right amount of water. Dear Pokey, here's a little something as thanks for your continued patronage, pal. See, pal, Palia, get it? Come spend it all in one place. Sure, thanks. I appreciate that. Where are we at here? Ooh. That's a lot. That means we can get something done. Oh, you know who needed clay? What's her name? But what's more important is finishing this. I'm literally just building a fireplace. How's it going? It's going good, Wilson. How are you? That's all I was building was a fireplace? That's funny. I mean, it is gonna look pretty good right there once it's done. I do have to say, it's gonna look pretty spiffy right there. I can't even sleep in this bed. Oh wait, I was gonna look and see if what I needed for the windmill real quick. Let's see. We need just fabric. I need 7 fabric. Oh wait, let's see what I can build. I got a lot of sap. Sap wood. A campfire, bookshelf. A camping lamp. Pans. A lot of things need different stuff. It's okay. We'll put it all in here. I need... I think I needed that. And I needed... Was it this? Okay. So I should have it all? I think. Okay, that's done. We got one more. One more time, we're gonna celebrate. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's do... Well, no, let's do... 60. When did Mariah Carey join the stream? What do you mean Mariah Carey joined the stream? The awesome singing I heard? What singing? Wait, was I singing? Whoopsie! Six minutes! Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh. Ha 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 ha. So funny. Okay, let's see. I'm so tired, you guys. I'm tired. You're tired. Everybody's tired. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Who do we want to say hello to today? I don't really have that many friends that play Palia, so it might be just someone that I feel like saying hello to, if that makes sense. Or like someone we haven't seen in a long time. I keep on seeing Arc Raiders on the thing, and I'm like, what is that game? So I kind of want to raid my friend who's playing Arc Raiders just so I know what game it is. I guess the Holy Spirit must have taken over for a second. Somebody was singing. I mean, I probably was singing. I just wasn't paying attention. I do that a lot. But I appreciate that. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, there you go. There's the whatchamacallit to copy the brain message, you guys. Um, I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope you all have a blessed night, and I love you guys. Jesus loves you, and let's go ahead and read up. Woo!